Black Alpha Network. Home of Black excellence. Power to the people.
What we learned was that when the police brutalized Rodney King, when they murder black people, when the police power in this society manipulates justice, the police power in this society manipulates justice in the criminal justice system, we learned that they're doing their job. Their job is to contain and intimidate and terrorize black people. This system want to know what we should do? We have to build an independent black political party to take care of our own interests. We have to build an independent black political party to take care of our own interests and coalesce with those groups and organizations that share our interests and understand that we have black enemies of black people in our community based on the notion that they could perpetuate a system of exploitation.
One thing for sure, two things for certain. If you a foundational black American, then it's all eyes on you. If you B.A.N black first, then it's all eyes on you. And if you certified black society, then that means all eyes on us. I'm talking about newspaper, top slot, headline, prime time, all of the above. Because everybody talking about us, as they should. And the more they talk about us, the more they scared. And the more they talk about us, the more they shook, and the more they talk about us, it confirms that this is the B.A.N era, certified season, and this is the land that foundational black Americans built, and they better wipe their feet before they step to our door. Bet that. And over here on the Black Alpha Network, we continue to push that line, and we continue to do it as a family. So, to all of my family, and that goes for all of y'all, bang that notification, hit that subscribe, and if you rocking with me, please support the Cash App. Much appreciated. FBA style, because over here on the Black Alpha Network, you already know, we building, we working, we shining, we grinding. One love, one love, one love. Much respect to the family. I appreciate the pull up. Hope everybody's staying real, staying vigilant, staying FBA. Y'all know how we do. B.A.N salute to the fam, certified salute to the fam. This is our world. This is our world. This is our time. This is our era. Anybody who's got a problem with that is getting their asses G-checked. Anybody who's got a problem with that is getting tossed out the fucking building. We gonna continue to do this. We've been saying for how long that FBA was in the building. We've been saying that the B.A.N train was moving. We've been saying certified season was upon us. And motherfuckers didn't want to listen. Motherfuckers try to play stupid. They try to act like they couldn't wrap their little motherfucking minds around it. But you know what we do. Anytime somebody falls asleep, we wake their ass up. Anybody who's off code gets tossed out, and anybody whose paperwork is trash is getting snatched. That's what we do. We've been laying the groundwork, family. We've been pushing that line. We've been representing ours. We've been lineage strong, lineage specific. And this has everybody in disarray. They don't know what the fuck to do. We don't sit back and we don't watch things. We make it happen. You feel me? There's two types of people. Two types of people. Motherfuckers who watch things happen, motherfuckers who make things happen. And foundational black Americans, all we've ever done was make things happen. And when you want to talk about making it go down, and when you want to talk about making your own waves and making your own moves, look it right now. Look it right now. FBA is trending. Foundational Black American is trending. Foundational Black Americans is trending. 3 of them. The same lineage is trending 3 different times. Foundational Black Americans was trending all in separate words. FBA was trending, and then FBAS, meaning Foundational Black Americans, was trending. Man, FBA is in the motherfucking place. Not to mention our brother Tariq Nasheed trending. Reparations trending. Black Twitter trending. Yup, need I say more? And that lets you know a lot of things. That lets you know a whole lot of things, and we're gonna break them all down on this episode of the Black AlphaCast. I appreciate y'all, family. I'm promising you that. That's coming from me, from my heart. I appreciate all of you guys. I appreciate living in this time. I appreciate this moment. I appreciate all the momentum we've got, how we build, how we stick together. I'm talking about all the brothers, all the sisters, the kings, the queens, the goddess, and the gods. Everybody who knows me, y'all know I am all about this family first, not this team, not this group, not this hate group. No, foundational Black American family tree. Our lineage, our culture, our heritage, everything that we've built. our soul, all on the line. This is what I represent. They can come up with any motherfucking term they want. They could try to slander us. They could try to smear us. They can run any bullshit line they want. It don't matter. They cannot knock us off our pivot because we are standing firm on our square. How you gonna try to knock somebody off their square when they've been standing on it for 500 years? How the fuck you gonna do that? This is who we coming up against. This is who's trying to deal with us. Y'all ain't built for us. Right now, the black grassroots is outclassing everybody. We're so far ahead of them, we can't even see them anymore. They way the fuck back, way the fuck back. And this is what it feels like when real certifieds are in control. We've seen what it's like when the coons is out here. We've seen when the tap dancers and the moonwalkers is out this motherfucker doing all types of bullshit. We've seen that before. Them days are done. I've been saying it. The days of the coons, the boule, the sambos, the bootlickers is over. It is over, and we can thank ourselves. Real time, all of us, salutes. We gotta represent ourselves because everybody hates us. You know what I'm saying? When somebody hates you, love yourself even more. When everybody's out to get you, hold yourself down. When a motherfucker got a problem with your sister, you represent your sister. When somebody got a problem with your brother, you represent your brother. And I represent all of y'all the same way that we represent all of us. That will never change. That'll never change. And now we're starting to see the momentum we have. There's about to be an FBA rally going down. And a bunch of certifieds will be there, including me. Hands up. I can't wait to see you guys there. I will be there. Yes, indeed. Black Alpha Network will be there. This is love. This is what it's about. We can all feel it. We can feel everything is fresh now. Everything is fresh. We've literally remodeled the whole game. The whole game. When Foundational Black American B.A.N. certified showed up, everybody who was on that bullshit fell the fuck back. Everybody who was real stepped to the front line. You know, we used to see things back in the day and we used to see black folks complaining and crying and talking about when's it's going to get better, y'alls, and what's we gonna do and let's go pray and shit. We got about business. We straight up just got to the business. This is all about business. It wasn't personal. This was about business. We said, fuck that. We need some damn results. We need to see some real change, some real action. The good trouble is gone. African American is gone. POC, minority, all that shit is gone. Black Lives Matter gone. The not fucking around organization, all the little fucking clowns that they've sent at us are gone. You cannot step to us. You cannot step through that door. We are too lineage strong. Once you identify who you are, you can identify an op. And once ops are identified, ops get dealt with. And that's exactly what's happening on every single level in every single aspect of society. Foundational Black Americans are not only present, we making moves. We making moves. That Karen Bryant, the lady who got Emmett Till harmed, what's happening? Her old ass is under pressure. Yes, indeed. You're not gonna harm one of us from years ago and think you just gonna go on about your day. Fuck no. You got people out here right now putting pressure on that lady that wasn't even alive when Emmett Till was around. But we still holding him down. We holding down our brother that was harmed 60 fucking years ago. Still holding him down. That ain't love. That ain't a family. That ain't this foundational Black American family tree in full swing. Shit. Still holding them down. And that dinosaur gonna hide to that dinosaur behind fucking bars. I don't give a fuck if she's 999 years old. On her 1000th birthday, she gonna be behind bars. Thanks to us, real movement. That little chump that was running his mouth talking about Clarence Thomas and our ancestors and shit, what happened to him? He's in the Tether protection program, putting pressure on him. We out here checking these folks on these reparations panels, checking them all the way. That's real action. This is what happens when you start dealing with us. That's why we're trending everywhere. That's why everybody is talking about us. All eyes on foundational Black Americans. All eyes, everybody, in the political world, the social world, all across in every spectrum, people know who we are, they know what we bout. And today we're gonna break down everybody who's ran their mouth about us. We're gonna break down why they're running their mouth about us, and I guarantee you will all see one common denominator, and that is every last one of their asses are scared, shook, broken, don't know what the fuck to do, don't know how the fuck to do it. Cause now they gotta play by our rules. They gotta come to our side of town. They gotta step in our neighborhood. And they can't do it. They can't because they've been so used to running game on folks that they can run that bullshit on. They can't run that bullshit on us. We can't be touched by no means. So therefore, everybody is out here talking about foundational Black Americans. Trending, man. Headline, prime time. We make the front fucking page. Everybody knows what it is. Even people who are hating on us are trending because they've been talking about us. You see how they all want to stand next to us so they can get a little spotlight? They get a little attention. This is how on fire we are right now. The fact that motherfuckers who hate on us gotta put our names in their titles and shit. They gotta hashtag our names just so they can get a little notoriety, just so they can get a little attention. You know what it is. They know who's a big dog on the block. They know who run the motherfucking yard. That is us. And I want the family to understand. Every time you see all these haters come out, all these Democratic shills, all these motherfuckers just popping up out of nowhere, these no names, these one-hit wonders. Some of these motherfuckers ain't has-beens, they never was. And they popping up speaking about FBA. FBA this, FBA that. Foundational Black Americans, Foundational Black Americans. The reason why all these people are coming out right now is because, like I said, they scared and they shook. But I want the family to see that for what it is. It's a sign of desperation. They desperate right now. They're not getting any returns on all the con games they've tried. You know how we talk about the trick bag they have? Well, right now they're reaching into that trick bag and cutting up their fucking knuckles because they ran out of tricks. Don't none of them work. They try to say flat blackness, we rejected it. They try to say vote blue no matter who, we rejected it. They try to give us holidays, Hip Hop History Month. They try to give us Cointelpro. They try to give us fucking crack pipes. Straight up, they try to give black folks crack pipes. And that shit ain't work. Rejected, rejected, rejected. Y'all know about 15, 20 fucking years ago, during the Yes We Can era and Obama and them, motherfuckers would have been in there using them crack pipes. Talking about, this is reparations now. We needed these crack pipes. Just some straight ignorant coon shit. We don't go for that. We done regulated every last coon, every last bootlick. There's some coons that done disappeared. Straight up. I told y'all, man, there's some coons missing in action. Some CMAs, coons missing in action, disappeared. Some of these motherfuckers just accepted it. The B.A.N era is in effect. My cooning will not work anymore. I'm sorry, gone. They done went in the motherfucking hiding. And the ones who have stuck around, they've all been made an example out of. We done took them names. We done gave them consequences and we done handed out them repercussions. That is exactly what's happening. Roland Martin, y'all done seen his beep, 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 his ass. He coming into Twitter spaces. Think about that shit. Roland Martin has rolled his big ass all the way into Twitter spaces. This is what it is, because he knows that's where Foundational Black Americans run shit. Those are our spaces. We connect. We get it in on those. And he done came in there, Luke, his old slow goddamn mush mouth ass. He done came in there. They hosting spaces together. These are shills coming out of nowhere. You seeing shills left and right. All these paid, all these cooning for free. Because remember, coons coon for free. All these motherfuckers is coming out trying to hate on Foundational Black Americans. They making Twitter spaces. They putting our name in them. I seen Luke's Twitter spaces that doesn't have FBA in them. And them motherfuckers got about 50 people in them. Soon as he puts Foundational Black American in them, then everybody comes and listens. You see what I'm saying? They trying to eat off our name. We so strong right now. These motherfuckers is trying to eat off our name. I told just like back in the day when the whack rapper used to have to diss the famous rapper to get some radio play. These motherfuckers trying to get radio play off our name. You feel me? Trying to put out that album. That album gonna flop though. That shit gonna go goddamn double wood. That shit gonna go triple plastic. Just like they fucking careers. That's what happens. The same way all these political parties and all these shills and all these minions, they asses flop. It's the same way them little con games are trying to use our name. We trending right now because motherfuckers got to speak about us. Everybody knows that we are controlling the political spectrum, and that right there is sending shockwaves throughout everything. People are scared. Foundational Black Americans standing on their own and getting our business tight together like we are, building together like we are, and remaining this culture and this lineage airtight. Like you can't slither in. Because y'all know every week they got a new name, a new group that's trying to slither in and try to claim what's ours. We used to just be an open house. Everybody could show up, like I said, take what's ours and just leave. We have regulated that shit to the point, I'm talking about deadbolt locks on the fucking door. You know what I'm saying? FBAs have our culture and our lineage airtight. No one can proceed inside of our building without clearance. They ain't got no security clearances. And if you ain't got no motherfucking security clearance, then your ass is getting G-checked. G-checked. And some motherfuckers is just to the point where they giving up. They giving up. They bowing out. These coons is in defeat, man. Hey, you ain't never seen a defeated coon until you look now. Look at him. Roland Martin. Defeated. He got defeat all in his face. Clyburn, he got defeat all in his face. Obama don't even show up no more. Because last time I seen him, he had defeat all in his face. He said, man, fuck this. I can't control them. I can control the coons and the good trouble motherfuckers back in the day. These B.A.Ns, these FBAs, man, that's out of my control. So he just exited stage left. A lot of them old motherfucking bootlicks, man, I'm telling you, they are hiding. They are hiding. They don't know what to do. They just don't have the energy no more because they understand they're dealing with something different. That's why they got to go and recruit new coons. Yeah, they got a whole gang of new coons that they trying to come up with. You know, they popping up out of nowhere. Motherfuckers ain't never heard of them before, never seen them in their life, and they just popping up. That lady who was at the Roe versus Wade thing talking about black men's, y'all's needs the votes. Remember her? The lady who was doing the fucking flip upside down twerking for votes. And then now they got that new chick, whatever the fuck her name is, Tara something. She put out a Twitter space just hating on FBA, just talking all types of bullshit. I'm talking about talking all types of bullshit through her goddamn jagged ass teeth. You know what I'm saying? She was running her mouth, talking about Tariq Nasheed, talking about FBA, talking about Colts, talking about reparations. She's another one. These are these new Democratic shills. And they gotta find these new shills because the old shills can't shield no more because we ran their ass out the paint. But the main problem that they're gonna run into is that the same old shills, the new shills is gonna get the same fucking treatment. You feel me? Because it's not about them, it's about us. This ain't the good trouble era. This is we'll set some shit off era. And we're setting it off everywhere you look. What people gotta understand is that they've spent so much time, energy, and effort, trillions of dollars, literally, trying to prevent us from doing exactly what we're doing right now. Trying to stop us from doing exactly what we're doing right now. Being lineage strong, lineage clear, and lineage specific is a game changer. And then representing that lineage the way we do is a game changer. They don't know how to handle that. See, they're used to African Americans. That doesn't exist. They're used to people of color. That doesn't exist. They're used to minorities. That does not exist. But I'll tell you what does. The only lineage that never ran, the only lineage that never fled, the only lineage that built this country. Foundational Black Americans. That's why you can look up and down your timeline. That's why you can look at the news. This is why you can look at the papers. This is why you can look all across social media and see us. When we start talking about convening, meeting together, building, having a rally, see, that's when the radars really went up. See, they were already watching us. They were already sending out their little Democrat shields and their ops. That's what they usually and typically do anyway. But once we start talking about having a rally in Washington, D.C., we start talking about building and getting together because they know if we all get in the same place at the same time, you know the building that's going to happen. You understand the networking. You understand the work that we going to put in. You put a bunch of certified foundationals in one fucking place and see what gets done. We get shit done anyway. That rally had everybody's radars going up. There's no coincidence, and Brother Tariq called it. Soon as he mentioned the rally, and soon as they seen the galvanizing and they seen the motivation behind it, all of a sudden motherfuckers was just popping up everywhere. Motherfuckers we ain't never heard of, never seen. They own mamas don't know who the fuck they are. But somehow they out here talking about y'all FBAs and y'all so bads and y'all FBAs is a hates group. Now everybody's coming at us because they on code red right now. They're in code red. They understand that clock is ticking. They understand they don't have much time to try to sabotage us. They don't have enough time to try to hijack our movement either. And the same groups that they're used to using to hijack us, think about it, family, they don't have them anymore. Who the fuck do they got? Who they gonna use? The feminist movement? Sisters ain't going for that shit no more. They try to use that not fucking around coalition with the fucking Scam Master J. That shit got exposed. Black Lives Matter, irrelevant as fuck. We done exposed them, canceled them, and erased them. Can't use them motherfuckers no more. They try to use the Democratic Party. All the shields are being highlighted, spotlighted, and kicked the fuck out. They can't use that. The vote blue no matter who. We gonna scare them into voting. Donald Trump is bad. All that shit that they was running. Every last thing they've done has been rejected. Go down the list, family. Every little con game. What, the first black? Nobody give a fuck about that. The people that they're presenting as first black, we understand, first off, they're not black. It ain't the first black. It's first off, your ass ain't black. You know what I'm saying? And we done exposed that shit. Who are they gonna pull? They can't pull out the old coons no more. Their asses are irrelevant. They can't pull out the new coons. They're irrelevant. They can't pull out all these little fucking organizations and the people of colors and the kumbayas. That shit ain't working. The kumbaya hustle's not working. And shit, we know that's what they always will go to. Anytime they're ever in a jam, they start talking about we as people, we as humanoids, we as earthlings and shit. They want to talk about all one big earth family and shit. Black folks ain't going for that. We say, man, fuck all that. Where my money? Well, technically, we're all human beings. Yep, and this human being wants his goddamn reparations check. And that's where it is. Lineage specific. When we get independent and lineage based, we get stronger. And we're stronger now is because we are as lineage based as ever. The takeover. The black grassroots takeover. The black mainstream don't mean shit. They can give us the black coon caucus and we throw their ass clean out the way. We did a bunch of G moves because we seen the benign neglect that they were given. When politicians were openly walking around saying they ain't gonna do nothing for us, just saying the shit and getting mad and wagging their little fucking finger at us, well then we said, well if you ain't gonna give us policies, then we'll go get our own politicians and present them. And that's what we did. That's why we have our brother Marcel Dixon. Then when they turned around and they said, well, flat blackness and everybody can get reparations. We said, no, it's going to be lineage based. And then we start G-checking all these fake ass panels. And now what are they doing? They signed in them goddamn lineage based laws. That's how it is. This is where it goes. This is why it's the black grassroots takeover. The black mainstream is getting their asses whooped. The black mainstream is getting served the fuck up. The black grassroots has wrapped circles around the motherfuckers. Everything that we do. And this is the first time, family, in a long time where the black grassroots is in control. Full control. There has been a complete energy shift. We are the ones that move the needle. And that goddamn needle has been pushed all the way to the fucking red line. Thanks to us, and that's why all eyes are on FBA. And they're gonna start sending out more and more ops and more agents. Every third motherfucker you meet is gonna be a shield. Every third motherfucker you meet is gonna be an agent. Every third motherfucker you meet is gonna be an op. Our pulling paperwork game is strong, so we're gonna continue to start G-checking these motherfuckers when we see them. We gotta start seeing they fucked up hairlines, that's gonna be a tether. We gotta start hearing them little democratic talking points. We gotta watch all that kumbaya shit and these people of colors and all that because they're gonna try to slide in. I'm telling y'all, they in cold motherfucking red. Every move we make, every step we take, these motherfuckers is watching us. And when we start talking about having rallies and building together and starting to build on this momentum that we already have created, these motherfuckers is gonna go harder and harder with that bullshit. But it ain't nothing to a boss. Nothing to a boss, and we at the boss's table. We live here. We live here, right here in the winner circle. That's where foundational black Americans reside. So if you're looking for some FBAs, you can start at the boss's table. That's where the fuck we gonna be at. So they're gonna send in all these ops and all these little deceptive tactics and shit. Like I said, they ran out of the trick bag, so they in complete desperation mode. So we watching all these motherfuckers slide in because when we start building, we start going to where we going. Cause y'all see right now, the momentum is strong. The power is strong. This lineage cannot be broken. And we walking around with that fucking step. I'm telling y'all know what it is. We walk around with that fucking step and everybody sees it. That's why we're trending. You see who they trying to throw at us. In one fucking week, you had like 10, 12 different motherfuckers coming. And every one of the motherfuckers fell flat on their face. So they're trying to amp up the desperation. All this shit is desperation tactics. This is desperation tactics. So now they're to the point where they're trying to label foundational black Americans as a hate group. That further shows you how desperate they are. First off, foundational black Americans are not a group, we're a lineage. They know that, the whole world knows that because they act like us. Don't act like we some type of group, motherfucker. You put on your clothes like us, you walk like us, you steal our music and every goddamn thing. You know damn well we're a lineage with a heritage and with culture. Because it's the same lineage, heritage, and culture that you try to cloak yourself in. Boy, you better find some new shit. They know goddamn well foundational black Americans are not a group. But this is the type of hustle that they got to get to. See, they want to label us as a group because now if they call us a group, then they can say we're a hate group. They can't call you a hate lineage. See, if they had to say somebody's a hate lineage, they would have to look in the fucking mirror. Who's a bigger hate lineage than the dominant society? So they try to steer away from using those terms, but they want to say you're a group though. See, once they put that group tag on you, then you can have members. Then they can hit you with a fucking RICO. They're sending out rappers. They're taking fucking rappers and calling them groups. Rappers have record labels. And they're saying, no, that ain't no record label. That's a street gang. That's a group. Once they classify you as a group, now they can do whatever the fuck they want. So we've been rejecting that group term all the way around because it ain't fucking true. Foundational black Americans are a lineage. As a matter of fact, it is the longest lineage in this country. The lineage that built this country. The lineage that is the backbone of this country. The lineage that this whole fucking world follows. Everybody knows foundational black Americans are a lineage because everybody is a carbon copy of our lineage. Yes, and motherfucking did. So the fact that they're trying to label us as a hate group, they're trying to say cult, they're using all these fucking high terms and all these little bullshit ass terminologies to try to bring us down, but that shit ain't working. That ain't working at all. That's going nowhere. Motherfuckers making pensions and shit, signing it 4-5 times. You got one person sign that shit 6-7 fucking times. More desperation. And on top of saying hate group, they're also saying xenophobia. You see these big ass terms they trying to use? They asses can't even fucking spell xenophobia. I put it like this. If they spend half their time and energy focusing on supremacy as they do focusing on foundational black Americans, they might get some respect. Because let's make it clear, most of these folks running around saying FBA is a hate group, holding Twitter spaces every 5 minutes crying about foundational black Americans, are Tethers. 99.9% of them are just diaspora coons. And they're upset because they cannot get reparations, and they're upset because they got their Tether wake-up call. That's why when you read the pension, all you keep seeing is them talking about the black immigrants. Oh, FBA's mean to us. FBA called us some bad names. FBA hurt our feelings. So you know who wrote this shit. You knew that shit was written in Tether handwriting. It's got Tether Joloff prints on it and every fucking thing. You could already tell. So what's happening is that they come over here, they try to tether to us. We do not allow them to tether to us, and then they run to Zadie to go snitch. That's all they doing. That's all they doing. They are snitching on FBA to Zadie. That's all the fuck they doing. They're saying, they won't let us tether. They won't let us steal their shit. They won't let us take their resources. I'm telling Zadie on you, the fuck out of here. So all that reinforcements and melanated group and we all on the same team, fuck no. This is who you dealing with. This is who you dealing with. And the crazy part about it is they should be applying hate group to the dominant society. They should be applying xenophobic to the dominant society. Every single thing that they're saying about us, they should be saying to the dominant society. But instead, they're tattletelling on us to the dominant society. You see where their thoughts are? You see where their minds are at? You see why foundational black Americans are different? You see why foundational black Americans delineate? You see why foundational black Americans are standing in our own space, in our own zone, on our own time? It's because of shit like that. And when they say we want to separate, yeah, we have to separate. You know why? Because we've been lumped in with everybody else. The very fact that the whole fucking country tries to always group us in with everybody. Oh, you're a POC. Oh, you're a minority. And then when we have to tell them, no, we are our own ethnic lineage. We are our own culture. We are our own heritage. They say that's a bad thing. We wouldn't have to separate and delineate if they never try to lock us in with everybody else. They don't do that with anybody else's culture. This culture is their own. That culture is their own. That culture over there is their own. They're all separate. But when it comes to us, they lump us in. How do you know this? Because if you ask a politician about black folks, the first thing they'll immediately do is give you an all-in statement. They all lives matter us all day long. That's all they do. What about reparations for foundational black Americans? All lives matter reparations. What about tangibles for foundational black Americans? All lives matter tangibles. What about resources for foundational black Americans? What about resources for all lives matter? So when we say, fuck that, FBA, all day, fuck all lives matter. Then they say, well, hold on now. Y'all want to separate? Y'all xenophobic. Let's sign a pension. You see the fucking hustle? You see the con game? That's exactly what they do to us. They lump us in with everybody, and then when we separate from being lumped in with everybody, they call us a hate group. They never had no problems with African Americans. Remember that? When they was African American all day long, they didn't make no goddamn hate group pensions because they had you right where they wanted you. When it was African American all day long, they never said it's xenophobic. When they were saying African American every fucking 2 seconds, they never had an issue with what we're doing. Soon as we named ourselves, soon as we represented our heritage and we got specific with it, then all of a sudden, it's such a dreaded thing. And like Brother Tariq always says, the problem they have with foundational black American is they cannot remix it. They can't twist it. They can't say, well, ADOS, American descendants of slavery. Well, somebody else will say, well, I'm from South America and I was a slave. We had slaves too now. I've heard them say that. They can spin that. They can twist that. African American. Well, then you have somebody like Elon Musk. He's an African American. You got all types of African Americans, all different types of colors too. So they could say, hey, I was born in Africa. Now I have citizenship for America. I want all your reparations money now. Next thing you know, they're in the front of the line. If we went by the term African American, when reparations comes in, you can guarantee 90% of that money will go to non-FBAs. That's why we got Lineage strong, Lineage specific. And everything that they feeling right now is everything that we've been seeing. And that's that FBA is in full charge. Everything that goes down is when we say it go down. Every move that's made is when we make them. And every single check that gets written is going in our bank account. Bottom line. So it's all eyes on us, and they're sending out everybody from all these different areas. This is what they try to do. And when it comes to this hate group thing, you gotta be real cautious with this because you see they're trying to force things. They're trying to tell us who leaders are. They're trying to tell you who membership is. See, when they tell you you're a group, Now they can label you as a group. And once they label you as a group, they can do as they please. They can say y'all got leaders and y'all got memberships, then RICO charges start coming down, and then next thing you know, crime bill is going to be written. See, that's why they want to label us as a group so much, because now Joe Biden can come in and write a new crime bill, and they can start targeting us. See, you can't target a lineage. And this is the same lineage that America acts like all the time is the backbone of the Democratic Party. And that same Democratic Party is the same party who's leading the push to try to falsely label us. You see the hustle, you see the play. We know what type of time they're on. It's the same game over and over. All these Democratic shields who are coming out the blue and popping up out of nowhere, these folks are being pushed out by the DNC. All being pushed out by the DNC because think about it. Foundational Black Americans, that lineage is going to cut into their voter block. They're watching the votes. They're watching the approval ratings go down the drain. They're watching Kamala Harris, Joe Biden. They're all having all-time low approval ratings. They'll never blame their benign neglect. Oh no, they'll never come off of that mountain. So the first thing they do is they blame foundational Black Americans. But in reality, foundational Black Americans are the lineage that they've always turned a blind eye to. Remember, you think I'm gonna do something for Black folks? No. Well, those Black folks are foundationals, and those foundationals are saying, well, if you think we're gonna vote for your ass, no. So now they're pulling out every Democratic shield they can possibly find. They're sending them on TV shows. They're sending them to news networks. They're sending them into our Twitter spaces. That person you see talking and they start off talking about some, yeah, you know, reparations is good. But you know, what's more important though is voting. That type of motherfucker, that's a Democratic shield who's being pushed out to counter foundational Black Americans. That motherfucker you see that starts off talking about some, we need to do something about the police, we need to do something about the criminal justice system, but what we need to do the most though is make sure Joe Biden wins. That motherfucker is a shield who's being pushed out to counter foundational Black Americans. Luke is a prime one. Luke, man, listen, nobody give a fuck about Luke. Still don't give a fuck about Luke. Most motherfuckers didn't even know Luke was still around. All of a sudden, Luke starts popping up in all these Twitter spaces. Luke used to be talking about football and basketball and a bunch of insignificant shit. Now all of a sudden Luke wants to play some type of Black leader or Black politician. What'd he do? First thing he does, he comes out and he talks about what we gonna do to these Democrats. These Democrats don't do nothing for us, aka using our talking points. And then immediately he shifted and said, vote Stacey Abrams. We talked about his ass before when we was giving them tether wake-up calls, and we still waking their ass up. He did a bait and switch. And then when we called him out on that, he took it even further. This motherfucker went and got Roland Martin, the biggest Democratic shield, and I mean biggest. He went and got the biggest Democratic shield he could find. They putting together Twitter spaces trying to come at foundational Black Americans. And they was trying to get bold as fuck. You know what I'm saying? Because we all know Roland, he lives and breathes as a Democrat. He's not Black at all. He is just a Democrat. He wakes up to serve master. He go to bed to serve master. If you don't want to serve master, he'll try to get tough with you. Even though he know he don't do nothing but inhale snacks all damn day. Eat the whole goddamn buffet line, wear dashikis, and wear shorts that don't even come to his fucking kneecaps. But Luke went and got him, and I guess they thought they was gonna team up on us or some shit. I don't know what the fuck that was. They thought they was about it. They was like the motherfucker that start taking their coat off and start balling up their fists like they gonna do something, huffing and puffing, and then get knocked out with one blow. That's how they was. That's how the fuck they was acting. You feel me? And if you look at the space was literally titled "Why We Should Vote with Roland Martin." Shield activity. More of it. As my brother Tim say, automatic agent. Shout out to you, brother Tim. This is exactly the game that they was on. That's the play they were doing. And it was nothing but slander. And then some guy, I don't even know what the fuck his name is. Y'all see that dude that be with him, Steven Johnson, whatever the fuck. He's some new shield. Never heard of this guy. That Tamara, whatever the fuck, she's a new shield. Luke came out of retirement to be a Democratic shield. This is what they doing. They pulling these motherfuckers up and out of nowhere because foundational Black Americans are putting in that goddamn work. The Black Grassroots is putting in that goddamn work. The mainstream ain't got nothing going for them. So this is what they're doing. And this obsession with trying to make Tariq Nasheed the leader and we're all members and we walking around with membership cards. There's no fucking membership cards. The only thing that tells you that you are foundational Black American is your damn birth certificate. That's what it is. So if you're looking for any type of membership, start with our fucking birth certificate. And then while you're at it, put some fucking reparations on the table. Then we can talk. See, what they're trying to do is they're trying to make us a centralized group with centralized figures that they can zone in on and come after us the same way they come at record labels. It's the same thing they do with hip hop. They'll take a rap group, they'll take a record label, they'll try to put that group on them, they'll try to put that street tag on them, and then next thing you know, they're writing all these little legislations to come after them and to bring them down. That's what the RICO is. There's no coincidence that the same fucking time foundational black Americans are becoming lineage strong and lineage specific is the same time they out here giving rappers RICO laws. And that's an old tactic that they've always done. Go back to the record labels of the late 90s, early 2000s. A lot of them were getting together and they were going to make a union for hip hop. Yes, a hip hop union. They actually went to the point where they met with the NFL, the National Football League Union, and they modeled their union after that. What ended up happening? Every single CEO ended up getting raided systematically 1 week later. Because they said, what? That's not a record label. That's not a union. You're a group. See, when they try to put that group tag on you, this is what happens next. They don't just do that shit for fun. That's an old play. Go back to the Black Panther Party. The Black Panther Party for self-defense. It wasn't the Black Panther group. It wasn't the Black Panther gang. It wasn't the Black Panther squad. No, it was the Black Panther Party for self-defense. They don't never tell you that the Republicans are a hate group. That's a party. They don't never tell you that the Democrats are a hate group. That's a party. But when the Black Panther Party existed, they tried to put that group tag on them, and then next thing you know, it led to your Fred Hamptons. It led to your Bunchy Carters. It led to all the raids. It led to all the arrests. You got Black Panther people in jail right now today based on trumped up charges and being railroaded because they put that group label on them. That's an old supremacist trick. The Black Panther Party were a social and political party that was fundamentally rooted in self-defense and political power. They said it all the time. They have a 10-point program. Not one time in their 10-point program do they ever talk about being a gang or a group. They talked about being a party for social advancement. That's what it was. And then they put that on them. So all these little Democratic shills that are showing up in our Twitter spaces and so on and so forth, trying to tell us who our leader is, trying to tell us who our members are, talking around the lineage specifics. These people are no more than Democratic agents. They're being propped up and we see them coming from a mile away. Now, all these other fucking groups that are out here, all the Bungaloo Boys, all the motherfucking Proud Boys, the Patriot Front, United Front, and all them motherfuckers, not nail one time do you hear anybody trying to tell them that they're a fucking hate group, but yet they want to take a lineage and make it a hate group. Now, when we were African Americans, they loved us and they never wanted to make no fucking thing. They was out here, go vote, vote, vote. As soon as we say no, fuck no, all of a sudden it's, oh, y'all a group now. Ain't no motherfucking group. When you're a foundational black American, either you are or you aren't. And it is based on lineage. And we said that time and time again. So anybody who's trying to push some type of leader on us or say we're a code or a hate group, that is nothing more than a Democratic operative, a Democratic shill, and a suspected agent. And we have to treat them as such. And you know what happens when we treat them as such. We snatch their motherfucking wig and we run their ass off the block and out the paint. And that's exactly what the fuck we've been doing, and we're going to continue to do it. Speaking of continuing to do it, what we're going to do right now on the Black AlphaCast, you guys make sure you smash that like button, leave a like before you leave, subscribe to the channel, you know I appreciate that, and put your notifications on when you do so we can keep on working and keep on building this thing up. We're going to go down all these Democratic shills. We're going to put them all on a big ass screen, highlight them, identify them, run them off the block, out the paint, round the corner, out of state. I mean, they desperate as fuck. And that's what they do. Whenever you give them that work, they just act like they don't hear you. This is that straw man shit. This is just that babble. This is how they do. Anytime they have nothing left, they resort to babbling. And that's all the fuck they can throw at foundational black Americans. And it's pissing them off that we keep rejecting this shit. You know, they say, you guys got a leader. We say, no, we don't. They say, you guys are a group. We say, no, we're a lineage. They say, you guys are xenophobic. We say, no, we're specific. And after they've said all that shit and they have nothing else, they run the fuck out the room. That's exactly. And I've listened in. I've seen motherfuckers get shit broke down to them and explained to them, and they still act like they don't hear it. It's what we call a contrarian, and that's exactly what they are. You know the motherfucker, no matter how many facts you laid out, no matter how many receipts you put on the fucking table, they just play dumb and act like they don't get it. That's what these motherfuckers do. That's why I always say right here on the Black Alpha Network, we ain't here to explain shit. We ain't here to enlighten you. We're not here to break it down. We ain't here to do none of that. Only thing we're here to do is cash this motherfucking reparations check. Until then, save it. All that talk, save it. All that wordplay, save it. All that word salad, all that play on words, fork tongue, save it. We ain't about none of that shit. If it ain't about money, it ain't about us. That's one thing about FBAs. We're to the point and we about our business. When we say things, we say it for a reason. There's no wasted time and there's no wasted energy with us. No, If it's going to be done, it's going to be done. If it ain't going to be done, then we ain't going back and forth with you. All these other motherfuckers can go back and forth. Tethers can cry all day long. They can cry them Jollof tears. They can have that. The Democratic Shields, they can tap dance and coon moonwalk for a couple butter biscuits. They can have that shit all day. Foundational Black Americans, we are laser focused on the prime objective, and that is tangibles and reparations. If it ain't about that, keep your mouth closed and sit your ass down. And that type of approach is different. That type of approach is real. And that type of approach is us. And that's why it's all eyes on FBAs. And we look good too, don't we? Hey, we stay stunting on them. Ain't nobody got more style than us. We wake out of bed on 10. Yes, we fucking do. That's why they all want to be like us and they all walk and talk like us. And they know when it comes to everything, foundational Black Americans are number one. If you're looking for us, you start at the top and go up. That's how the fuck you do it. So everybody's got their cameras on us. Everybody got their eyes on us. And we're just doing what we do best, being ourselves. And the best thing about life is when you can win and you can do it just by being you. And that's why everybody has some type of drama for us. That's why everybody got a bone to pick with us. And that's why everybody conspires and teams up to come against foundational Black Americans, because we get the job done by doing it our way. And we've done it since day one, and we're doing it right now. But right now, we're doing it more than ever. This B.A.N era is real. This B.A.N era is thorough. We're laying it on thick right now, and they can't stop it. We getting wins left and right, taking no losses. All gas, no brakes. And that's how we're going to stay. And you see the momentum get bigger and bigger and bigger. And when this rally takes place and they really see us out here in the streets and they really see us galvanizing, it's only going to further prove that foundational Black Americans, we are the culture. And we must be the culture. The fact that all these other groups got to team up and conspire with each other just to come after us. I mean, the Tethers got to team up with the Shields got to team up with the buffer class, the POCs and the minorities get together with them. Everybody just teams up, plots and plans, schemes and strategizes on how they can derail foundational Black Americans. Man, the slander is thick right now. That shit's so motherfucking thick. The smear campaigns are in full effect. They coming after our brother Tariq every single day. We've already seen the diaspora and all these other shields come at Tariq. Every time Tariq puts out a new film and every time Tariq comes with some good quality work, all they do is hate on it. They hate on it. They try to shadow ban and block and do all these little sneaky tactics, these little diversions to try to knock our brother off his pivot. And I salute that man. They do the same thing to all of us. Every time we get on our game and every time we start working, we see the way they come down. They come to every single space that we are in just to try to roadblock us. I've literally seen people call into my spaces personally from almost every fucking continent just to try to troll foundationals. I had a guy call in from Africa trolling. Had a guy call in from Nicaragua trolling. I shit you not. I promise you. Fucked up accent, twisted as hell. Called in, hating on foundationals. What do you do when there's before we were not whatever the fuck he was saying. Shit, it's recorded. I got that space up. It's all documented. We got receipts on the Black Alpha Network. Yeah, had people call in from Europe, all across the goddamn 50 states. These people find our spaces one way or another just so they can get 5 seconds of trolling. I was listening to my brother Afro Elite. Salute to brother Afro Elite. We just did a space called All Eyes on FBA. And for the record, me and brother Afro Elite space was on for 4 hours. It was the best space of the whole weekend. It's up now if you guys want to check it out. I mean, we were breaking it down. Real thorough, solid game. There was a lot of FBA energy. That was like an FBA pull-up. But as our space was on for 4 hours, we had almost 200 people in the room. If you look to the side, you seen Coon Luke. He had a space that came on, and he had about 50. He had about 50 people in the room, maybe 70. He ain't have nothing. So AKA translation, that's another win for the new black media, another win for the black grassroots, and another L for the old, outdated, coonified, mainstream Democratic shields. And that space is up, by the way, so y'all make sure you check it out. All Eyes on FBA. And this is the AlphaCast to the space. You guys make sure you subscribe to that man right there. That's a solid, thorough brother himself. I was just watching his show the other day, and some troll popped in just to hate and left a donation. He paid the troll. For real, hey, this is what's going down in the streets. This is how thick they hate on foundational black Americans. These motherfuckers is paying to troll us. You know damn well when you calling from some fucking village on the other side of the earth, where you standing on one goddamn leg with your fucking arm at a 45-degree angle, leaning on a rock, trying to get some janky ass reception on your tether phone. Man, he can't afford that shit. He could have called his mama. Instead, he's wasting all his minutes on his prepaid tether phone trying to call into our Twitter spaces from another country. You out your goddamn mind. Y'all know they can only make one call a year in them villages? He got one call a year, and instead of calling his mama in the village next to him, he's trying to call and troll foundational black Americans. What the hell? You know them prepaid tether phones run out of minutes quick? You better use that shit rightfully. Fuck is wrong with you? He did all of that and didn't get nothing out of it except getting roasted and embarrassed by foundational black Americans. Shameful. And that's how deep this FBA slander is, fam. Same with the DNC. They gotta roll out Roland Martin so he can come up in here with an extra medium shirt on and ravioli stains on the cuffs. Do all that shit just to get your ass roasted and embarrassed by foundational black Americans. Same goes for Luke. Sounded like he chewing on bottle caps. Getting his ass roasted and embarrassed by foundational black Americans. He was talking all that shit, and then when Tariq Nasheed popped up in the space, he went from goddamn 2 live crew to 2 goddamn quiet. And he knows what time it was, cause FBA energy makes him all bust a U-turn. What's that guy that used to be on Rap City? That little zesty ass dude, Tigger, looking like he ready to go twerk for votes. He been twerking for votes a long time ago. He cheerleading for votes. He wearing high heels for votes. He ain't never left the buck breaking plantation. He done changed his place of residence. But everybody knew that for years. So if there's anybody that should never open their mouth and speak on foundational black American affairs, it's that guy. If anybody wants to know about being buck broken, then somebody might go to him. But when it come down to foundational black American business, he need to keep his ass on the buck breaking plantation. That's the first motherfucker who volunteered to stay there. He's another one of these motherfuckers that people didn't even know still existed. He ain't even a has-been, he's a never was. A zesty never was. That's worse than a regular never was. Motherfucker, you failed at failing. Sit your whole ass down. You gonna need some help. Big help. And just like all the rest of the Democratic shills, these people mean nothing. These motherfuckers ain't worth the food stamp. They gotta step their trolling game up. Their trolling game is whack. They can't even go get anybody of significance to come at foundational black Americans because whoever they put in front of foundational black Americans, they understand that we wash their ass up. They can't stand in our presence. That's exactly what it is. They're coming against something too strong or too powerful. That is everyone on this side. And that is why the desperation is in full swing. They are so desperate that they gotta go get these bums from fucking old TV shows in the 90s, old fucking rappers, old CNN people. Think about it. Roland Martin ass was on CNN way back in the day, as it never was. Luke Campbell was a fucking fake wannabe rapper in the 90s. Nobody even knows his fucking music no more. The shit don't get no spins. I never was. The other guy, shit, I forgot his name already. You see how quick that go? I already forgot the motherfucking name. This is how irrelevant he is. The guy who used to host Rap City, the bussy dude, Tigger, the cheerleader, him, never was. All these guys are failures, and that is why the desperation is in high attempt. This is what they trying to do and trying to throw at foundational black Americans, and we rejecting that shit left and right. And trust me, they feeling it. They feeling it, they sweating, they nervous. Anxiety has kicked in because foundational black Americans have showed up and changed the whole fucking game, and you got to love it. And let's play some clips right now. Let's break it down. We got receipts. I done already laid out some receipts. We're gonna lay out some more receipts. Let's listen to these motherfuckers having these public meltdowns. We ain't just gonna talk about it. No, right here on the Black Alpha Network. Smash that like button before you leave. Subscribe to the channel. We building, we working, we shining, we grinding. I appreciate y'all. As always, family. Right now, our FBA family tree is exposing everybody, and we're seeing it play out. Let's listen to it. Let's take it all the way there. G-checking these shills one by one. Now, we want to talk about people who change their energy. We want to talk about people who try to flip it up. We want to talk about someone who tries to play both sides of the argument. Let's talk about Luke. See, Luke held the space, and it started off talking down on foundational black Americans. Let's talk about the ignorant folk from FBA or some silly ass shit he said. I don't even remember. But it started off with some smoke. By the end of that show, it ended with some handshakes and some backtracking. Oh yeah, he came out saying everything he could say about FBA. Just straight up telling everybody. He said it. He said he ready for the smoke. He said don't back down from the smoke. And when that room got real smoky, he started backing down. See, what it was is he thought he was gonna show up and run con games on foundational black Americans, and we was gonna let that shit slide. He thought that he was gonna show up and try to hustle foundational black Americans into voting for Democrats. That's what it is. Luke is a Democrat. He's just like Roland Martin. That's why he's running around with Roland Martin. He thought he'd have some type of like street cred running with Roland Martin. This shows you how out of touch and disconnected that guy is. He has no ear to the street, he has no affiliation with FBA, and he has no connection with B.A.N. That guy probably doesn't even know what any of that is. They done found Luke down in Miami, probably out there tap dancing for somebody. They done found Luke down in Miami, probably doing the cool moonwalk for somebody. They done found Luke down in Miami and said, hey, you had a song here, there in the 90s. We can't find nobody else because everybody else done got ran the fuck off the block, all the other celebrities. So they had to go back in their time machine to 1991, go find Luke, see what the fuck he was doing in Miami, and see if he can come do some tap dancing for the Democratic Party. The Democrats picked up their coon phone. They dialed 1-900-COON. Luke answered that motherfucker, and they said, hey, Luke, you busy? He said, no. They said, you got any plans? He said, of course not. They said, how's your career going? He said, I ain't got one. You still got money? Hell no. You willing to do some cooning for us on Twitter? He said, hell, I'm already cooning for you down in Miami. They said, all right then, let's make you an account. Let's put you in connection with Roland Martin. And then next thing you know, why we should vote for Stacey Abrams and why we should vote with Roland Martin. He didn't say maybe. He didn't say think about the shit. He said why you should vote with Roland Martin and Stacey Abrams. Now, if he knew, like he thought he knew, everyone knows Stacey Abrams is a shill. Everyone knows Roland Martin is a shill. This is who he brings around FBA and did not expect to get called on it. And then when he got called out, he had the nerve to try to buck up and turn up on FBA. Like we won't turn his ass right the fuck back around like we did. Listen to this.
I was looking at them boys over there at the FBA, and they had this room going on. Roland Martin and Luther Campbell. Me, Luther Campbell. Roland Martin, Luther Campbell. Let me let some people get on in the room. I normally do this shit on Sunday, and I talk about sports throughout the week. Please, 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 DM them dudes, bring their ass up in here so we can have a real conversation. And I hope some of y'all are part of that group that's in here. And I hope some of y'all African Americans who are rationalized people are in this group. Let's talk about it. Because I really want to know what these dudes' beef is. So I put it up there. Call them straight up ignorant Negroes because they are ignorant Negroes in my opinion. And anybody that follow a pimp is stupid. And that go for hoes on the street too. So that's where I'm going at with this. One thing about me, I don't run from no smoke. They got me fucked up.
Y'all heard that, right? You heard how he was all high and mighty? Now listen to Luke just a mere 10 minutes later when Tariq Nasheed showed up.
My rooms, and they come and try to disrupt, so they know exactly who I am.
But that's why I'm just saying, I can't tell you how to do what you do. But
right.
I think it would. I just think, if you sit down and have a meeting with, and you sit there and you say, look here, man, I need, y'all Congress, you got 2 years, I need you to, do what you do. Where's the check?
I feel you.
Talking a whole different talk, wasn't he? Switched up real quick. He went from saying he wanted smoke to running for the fire extinguisher. He put his own fire out. Hey, he went and got the fire extinguisher and put out his own fire. I have never seen that in the history of Earth. A motherfucker try to set the flame and then run to go put out the flame that they started. But I'm not surprised though, because that's what happens when foundational black Americans start G-checking. So they may start talking about vote for the Democrat. They may start talking about vote blue. They may start talking about vote for Joe Biden. They may start talking about any of that until we show up. Then when we show up, it's handshakes, olive branches, unity. Can't we all just get along? And that's exactly what Luke did. Ain't nothing changed. Ain't nothing changed. Luke knew the same thing going into that he was when he came out of that. Only thing that changed is that the energy shifted and FBA put some of our energy in that space. That's it. Trust me, Luke didn't learn nothing. Luke knew ahead of time what he was on. Luke knew ahead of time what we speak of. Luke knew ahead of time the tangibles and the resources and the position that foundational black Americans hold. And he thought it was going to be cool. He thought shit was sweet. The ideas didn't change. The policies didn't change. The beliefs didn't change. The only thing that changed are the people he was talking to. When he was talking to a bunch of them shield buddies, when he was talking to Roland Martin, he was muting the mic, talking over people, stuttering, because Luke can barely fucking talk. When you get on a Twitter space and they got that CC closed caption so you can see the words, please press closed caption when Luke start talking, because that's not the only way you're going to understand his ass. But nothing changed. The only thing that changed was foundational Black Americans were in the building, and then his words changed right along with it. When we stepped in, he stepped out. When we stepped in, all that smoke stepped out. And that's the way we do it. That's the way we continue to do it. That's the way we will always do it. And that's what's got foundational Black Americans trending from top to bottom. It's because it is our season and we are running the game. All eyes on us. Now let's go to the biggest shill, and I mean literally the biggest shill, having a McDonald's meltdown on national television with his stomach 3 sizes too big and his shirt 3 sizes too small. You can literally see the motherfucker thinking about a value meal on air. He ain't even reading the teleprompter and shit. He looked like he about to eat his nose. That motherfucker thinking about a quarter pounder with cheese. He ain't fit to talk about the news. Anyway, listen to this guy.
But see, this is what happens when y'all keep following behind people who, first of all, ain't real journalists. Former pimps.
Come on.
Call the roll.
Folk who hide their face. Folk who got bad lace fronts. Folk who ain't never been to journalism school, but they want to call themselves new black media. This is what happens when you are real black-owned media. When you got journalistic credentials. There's nothing that we've done today that is in defense of Democrats.
That's right.
Today is in defense of the truth. It is the truth. And so if you're sitting out there right now and you holler intangibles and you say you want a bill that specifically mentions black people, the House has already passed it. For all y'all, again, this is for the FBA, B.A.N, ADOS crowd. Oh, yeah, you out here, you shilling for the Democrats. Can you tell me who's running?
I'll tell you who's not running in real life. Your big ass ain't running. As a matter of fact, you are running. You're running to Popeyes, you're running to Church's Chicken, you're running to KFC. That's about the only time you run. That motherfucker look like he ain't ever seen a treadmill in his life. Looking all goddamn sloppy, out of shape. That motherfucker look dehydrated year round. Every goddamn season he look dehydrated. Somebody please order his ass a case of water, because all the grease and lard is just sweating out his fucking pores every time he talk. He look like he about to pass out. Oh shit, look at him, mad as hell. In between thinking about that quarter pounder with cheese and a large fry and a Coke as a side drink, he found time to mention FBA and B1s and shit. He just go down the list of the black grassroots and beep, 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 his way all the way through that motherfucker. Sounded like the Roadrunner and shit. You see what I'm talking about? He's having a meltdown because foundational black Americans are in full control and nobody knows who he is. I mean, he thought he was gonna have a promising career. He thought he was gonna do all Zadie's dirty work. He is still trying to campaign to get a job with the dominant society, and they just ain't hiring him. He's still trying to be a Democratic shield, and the Democrats don't even fuck with him. At least when you start talking about Van Jones and Buck Curry sellers, at least they get paid by the Democrats. He got fired from CNN. CNN said they won't even work with him no more because he was leaking notes to Hillary Clinton. He's really seen as an outcast. This guy is an outcast. He can't even be a Democratic shield. He's literally seen as a disgrace by the Democratic Party. Still tap dancing, doing the buckaroo, the spin around, anything that he can do to get Zadie's attention, he's trying to do it. He's like a little kid at a little league game who keeps looking into the crowd at his dad to see if he's doing good. He's out this motherfucker saying, beep, beep, beep. You see me, Zadie? Beep, 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 beep. Am I doing good? Beep, 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 beep. I'll be a good boy. Beep, 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 beep. Can I get my job back? Hey, I gotta thank Roland, man. Roland's hilarious, man. Roland provides us a lot of laughter, a lot of motherfucking comedy. There's some shields out there, but Roland is the funniest one. I'm sorry. That motherfucker be getting mad too. They be roasting him and how he be fucking dressing with them dashikis on, them tight ass pants and tight shirts. They be clowning the hell out of him on the internet, and it be getting to him too. Because he'll go way into his comment section and respond to somebody with 12 followers. He'll be like, beep, 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 fuck it. His A, when he types that shit, says beep, beep, beep. That motherfucker beep, beep, beeps when he sends a text. That's another shield and meltdown because FBA is in the building. You're going to get roasted and embarrassed. And it's easy with Roland because he's already out here embarrassing himself every time he shows his face. So all we got to do is just roast him and it'll be our pleasure. So keep on having that meltdown, brother. We need the comedy. Now, let's move on to this shield. This shield right here, all I got to say is, who the fuck is this guy? I never even heard of this dude. This is what we saying. They pulling shields off the street. Some guy, Steven, whatever the fuck. Y'all probably seen him. He's in them Twitter spaces with Luke. You know, being Luke's goddamn little right-hand coon. And he's in these Twitter spaces just babbling. I'm talking Democratic shield babbling, saying shit that makes zero sense at all. When people talk, he's just saying, well, what was? Hold on now. Could is be what? And where is why? I mean, he's just saying shit that makes nothing, going in circles. Coon. And nobody knows who the fuck this guy is. I promise you. Without Twitter spaces, half these motherfuckers would not exist. You wouldn't even know who they are. Who are these people in the real world? Who are these people in real life? Who are these people out here in society? Nobody. They always claim that they've done something. They've always claimed they've been somewhere. They might have met a couple celebrities and met a couple phony ass politicians, shook some hands, took some goddamn pictures, and think that they've arrived. But in reality, they ain't nobody. So as I was saying, who the fuck is this guy?
Can I ask a question about data since Nikki was asking that question? Is that okay?
Yes.
Okay. You, I don't know what your involvement was, but you were promoting the campaigns of the Senate candidate in Georgia and also a congressional candidate in South Carolina.
Yes.
Both of them, one got 4.5% of the vote and the other one got 3.9% of the vote in those states. Both of them ran on the messages, a lot of the messages that you are advertising now. I also work in a data capacity in my job. Our biggest consumer in my job are African Americans and blacks around the world. I have never had reparations come up in any survey or poll we've ever done.
Our brother Marcel was only in politics for 6 months, and that was his first time in, and that brother made a phenomenal impact. The signal boosting of the message has been boosted up out there, so he did exactly what he's supposed to do. A lot of times when people run, we understand that there's a slight possibility that they might actually win, but we also know that they're out there to disrupt the message, and that's exactly
so 4% is now considered a success now?
Yes, it is, because the message is out there, and we got the brother out there to spew that message, and the message is out here resonating now. So we got to boost the message around the country. We going up against Clyburn. Clyburn has $1 gazillion behind him, and he's been in politics for 1,000,000 years. Going up against a brother who was in politics for 6 months, and he had these Democrats shook. So that's a win for us. And next
but
time
he also did worse than the other Democrat that ran, and there were 2 Republicans that ran that he also did worse than too.
Because they have white money behind them. They have more money. It's just that simple.
He had more money than the other 3 candidates. So I'm trying to understand, if we're talking about data and we're talking about facts, why did the person who had the second most amount of money in this race and also had the 4th amount of money of any of the people that were challenging an incumbent in South Carolina, why did he come in dead last of all these candidates that challenged him? It's just not computing.
Okay, now, because you're just kind of rambling off random numbers and you kind of...
See what I'm talking about right there? He's one of them real low down ones, one of them real low budgets that sits there and just talks you in circles, and he'll try to stall you out. But he was running, he was hiding, because some real sisters came in there, and I seen a sister. I cannot remember her name. You guys heard the space? The sister was giving him that work, and he didn't know what to do. He was fumbling, stumbling, and bumbling, just like a Democratic shield usually does when you confront them with them facts. And this sister was laying down the facts, and he was all over the goddamn place. I think Tariq might have checked him too. So that's what you got to do. That's another one. This is all a result of foundational Black Americans. This is why we're trending, y'all. We're trending because these people right here are running their traps. These people right here are babbling and ranting, and we're stepping to them in their own spaces and giving them that work. They got the mute button. They'll block somebody, run them out the room, and still they getting served on their own block, because that's the difference between FBA certified and Democratic shields counterfeits. So this dude right here, I don't even know his name. We just gonna call him who the fuck is that guy. So while who the fuck is that guy is speaking, I'm sitting there thinking, oh, this is a Democratic shield from out of nowhere. I'm thinking, oh, this guy's straight Democratic shield. And the more he talked, you seen, he's a straight Democratic shield. So I seen the sister come in there and she started pressing who the fuck is that guy. And I was like, God damn, He don't know what to do. And guess what? Soon as the sister started laying down them facts, he started running. He was a runner. He was a track star. He put the motherfuckers on tight and was hopping fences to get away. And that's what usually happens when you deal with the Democratic Shield, because they cannot face reality. So as the sister was laying it down and a lot of other brothers were coming in here G-checking him, who the fuck is that guy? I think he disappeared out to space. He just left. And then he might have came back in later and was talking some shit, and another brother ran him off the block. And I was sitting there thinking, damn, it's a fucked up day to be who the fuck is that guy? And who the fuck is that guy was getting served left and right, as a Democratic Shield does when they're confronted with a certified, because we got all the real, they got all the fake, we got all the truth, they got all the bullshit. And those bullshit lies get exposed, and so then who the fuck is that guy? And that's on certified. Foundational Black American style. Now, this person right here, Tara, whatever the fuck, again, don't know none of these people's names. I promise you, I don't know their goddamn names. She came out of nowhere. I seen her in spaces that were some solid spaces with some solid brothers, and she was just kind of laying low. As I always say, they're watching what we say, they're watching our terms so they can slide in. She came out of nowhere with a space just hating on Tariq and Foundational Black Americans. And then when people started looking at her paperwork, because like we say, in this Foundational Black American era, you're gonna get your paperwork snatched, and you're not gonna go far with dirty paperwork. So when brothers and sisters started pulling back her paperwork, we start seeing she's some fake candidate, couldn't even get enough signatures to get on the goddamn ballot. She's one of these people who walk around and say, oh yeah, we're fighting for reparations, but really she wants to give it to everybody. A terminology thief. This is what they do. She's a pure Democratic Shield, and every time you look at her and you hear her talk, you already know what she's talking about. I seen some video out there where she's with some dude who look like fucking Macklemore, so it's clearly she's a swirler, a Zadie tap dancer, and she, hey, did y'all see that video? Y'all see the way she's like, reparations, and she's nodding her fucking head, just clown shit. She looked like she been chewing on the same bottle caps that Luke been chewing on. He spit them out, and I guess she caught them. I don't know what the fuck they're doing over there on the Shield side. But this is what I've been seeing, and you can see it all throughout it. So she had some space hating on Brother Tariq, and she was just 2 days earlier in these other spaces, and I kept saying, who the fuck is she? Once again, somebody I never heard of. And she was just kind of laying low, not saying much. And she's the type of person that'll start using your little terminologies, sprinkle in a few of our words, make it seem like she's down. And the more she talks, the more she exposes herself. That's what happens to these camouflage shields. They'll start using all this FBA terminology. The thing is, they'll hate on FBA all day long, but they'll use FBA terminology to slide in. It's to the point now she's talking about getting off Twitter. You see the difference? You can't even come around. See, when they come into our world and they step on our playground, they gotta play by our rules. And they'll talk all that shit. I'm gonna be here and I'm gonna say what I need to say. And about 2 days later, they trying to mass block everybody and put on them track shoes, because this is FBA over everybody, including the donkey from Shrek. She did her thing, by the way, in that movie. She should have got a coon Oscar for that, because she put on a damn good performance. That was her best performance. Way better than that fake ass performance she put on in that Twitter space. Because that shit was getting regulated by all the certifieds.
We out here at the MLK Social Justice Caravan. We traveling down King Boulevard right now. Come out. Hey. Reparations now, y'all. We out here. We gonna be in it at Lamert Park. Come meet us in the village.
His response now is, what can I do to help the movement? I understand delineation now. How can I help? Where y'all need me to show up to, right? That's a person with influence and who could properly use their influence and their funds. Not respond with, I got a white Zadie because I have a white security guard and a guy that I build with, and posting incorrect allegations on Twitter.
Right.
What does that have to do with reparations? Nothing. And that's what I mean by Cointelpro behavior. He's taking people's focus off of the work.
You do know he was swatted before in its community.
Yes, he was swatted before. What does that have to do?
I mean, I'm just saying, I don't know about the Cointelpro.
He was swatted for trolling white supremacists on the gaming systems, right?
Okay,
He was swatted for that. Yeah, that's what he was swatted for. It wasn't just, he's such an activist, he's such a target, he's in the SWAT. No, he was actively trolling white supremacists. And that's what they do in gaming. They swat each other. It's sad, it's unfortunate, and I'm glad nothing happened to the man.
Right. Or his family.
Or his family, right.
I just think that time could be better spent on...
No, I don't worry about that. I don't worry about that.
You just mad at him because he
No, I'm not. I already said I champion. If you weren't in this space earlier, I said I champion his ability to make money. Why? Because it's tough out here for Black folks. We are out here fighting for reparations because we've been economically locked out. I would never disparage him for that. I said if he can raise $1 million for an actual museum, he could also raise $1 million to put into the reparations movement as a whole. Not just one candidate, not just two candidates. Constant money for constant organizing around reparations. We're 4 months from an election, right? We can't show up to DC 3 weeks before the election and think that's going to move the needle. And that's what I'm doing. And I'm here to knock people down in their misconceptions about me, because I know it's a lot of BS being posted on Twitter. And I'm here to answer those questions. And when people think that, oh, you just being petty, you just being hateful, because I asked him to be a leader. When people are saying I'm just disparaging this man, I asked him to be a leader. How is that disparaging?
Boy, she got Democratic shield written all on her face. I don't know who she thinks she's fooling with that damn. I'm not. Yes, you are, homegirl. Sitting there saying, he thinks I'm just a swirler. You are. Ain't nobody make you do all that damn tap dancing in front of Zadie. You know what you was doing. Quit playing. We know what a damn swirler look like when we see one. And you got that all in your face, written on your forehead, and all your crooked ass teeth too. You see how that brother was pressing her and she started tap dancing? She started tap dancing all over the place, saying, oh no, he was just swatted because he was trolling some people. Basically, she's saying that makes it cool. So basically, she's talking supremacist talk. And if she's talking that talk, then that means she is a supremacist minion. And supremacist minions are typically Democratic shills, and Democratic shills gots to get ran straight off the block. You see how 1 minute she's talking about reparations, the next minute she's condoning supremacy. That is the same old game. And that's what you see time and time again. They play every side of the argument, and we all know that comes directly from the dominant society. And the dominant society are the people paying these type of operatives off. And they're saying, hey, go into these Twitter spaces. That's where foundational Black Americans are at. Try to run your little con games on the foundational Black Americans, and then come back to Zadie and tell us what you saw. That's why she was tap dancing with that guy. It wasn't no damn security guard. What kind of security guard is on the inside of the car and you on the outside of the car? That wasn't no damn security guard. And what you need security for? Don't nobody know you? Don't nobody know you. Didn't I say they got to put FBA, they got to put Tariq Nasheed, they got to put B.A.N in all of their titles. They got to hashtag it over and over again just to get a little bit of attention. They eating off of our plate. Just like a tether. How I say the tethers come here and they eat off our plate, it's to the point where the Democrats are trying to eat off our plate. Because if it wasn't for foundational Black Americans, if it wasn't for B.A.Ns and certified Black, no one would pay any attention to them. They got our fucking names on repeat. They say it again and again. Stop, say it again. And we don't mention them. Only time they even come up is when they're getting roasted. Half of these people, once again, we could not pick out of a fucking lineup. We don't know who they are. We do not think about them. We are living rent-free in their brains. They aren't even an afterthought in ours. Big difference. And that difference is what's got everybody talking about FBA, thinking about FBA, worrying about FBA, sweating FBA. All eyes are on FBA. And all we doing is sitting back and enjoying the show like we always do. That's typical, man. We used to being hated. We used to shields. We used to agents, operatives. Man, we used to all that. That's their fault. They done threw everything at us. They done showed their hand. And all we did was get used to it. So don't be surprised when that shit get rejected. Don't be surprised when that shit get cleared out. And don't be surprised that it's FBA season and it ain't going nowhere. I mean, imagine this. Imagine going from African Americans when you had the Edmund Pettus Bridge and Good Trouble and you had the Yes We Can. Now you got to deal with foundational Black Americans and it's no tangibles, no vote. It's no reparations, no vote. And it's lineage over everything. What they gonna do? What the fuck are they gonna do when they got to deal with that type of change? Get scared. Trust me. Get shook. Trust me, get nervous, trust me, and all of that is a sign of desperation that we've all been talking about. We watching them all desperate in real time and real play. All that shit with the dominant society be just running things and they got a control of everything. No, the fuck they don't. They don't control us on no platforms. They may control some bootlickers, but bootlickers volunteer for that shit. When they start dealing with foundational Black Americans, they don't know what the fuck to do. Trust and believe that. Foundational Black Americans got these motherfuckers waking up in cold sweats having fucking nightmares. Understand, when we showed up to the game, everything that they planned and they strategized went right out the window. Tethers don't know what to do. Tethers was making phone calls saying, I thought that we was gonna replace them. What's happening? FBA showed up. The Democrats are making phone calls saying, I thought they was gonna vote for us blindly for another 60 years. What's happening? FBA done showed up. The whole goddamn dominant society was saying, I thought we could do whatever we please to these folks and they would go and pray and they would go forgive. Nope, ain't forgiving. We setting it off. Guarantee that. And this is what's got everybody shook. You can't make that type of transformation from being around a bunch of African Americans to now you around a bunch of foundational Black Americans. That type of transition right there, they weren't ready for. They hoped that shit never happened. They hoped and prayed that foundational Black Americans, certified Black society, and B1s wouldn't step into the place. And once we did step into the place, they started looking for the motherfucking exits. They was like, exit over there, that's my escape route. Trust me, they running out the fucking house because there's only room for one lineage, and that's ours. And guess what? We're the ones who built the house, so we're staking claim to what's ours any goddamn way. You feel me? So believe this and trust me when I tell you, we are the change that they feared a long time ago. One more time, all of us right here in this space and time, and I salute y'all. We are the change that they feared a long time ago. When brother Malcolm X was still gracing this planet, when brother Dr. Martin Luther King was gracing this planet, when our brother Dr. Hendrik Clark was gracing this planet, they were thinking about us. They was thinking, let's stop them so they don't have to deal with us in the future. But what they didn't understand is that all those men still live amongst us. You feel me? This is what you call lineage, heritage. It gets passed down, and nobody from the dominant society, no tether, no buffer class can ever change that. The energy that was permeated from all of our brothers and sisters, all of them, all of our sister queens, all of our brother kings is still living amongst us. So when they try to hate on our sister queen and our beloved Dr. Frances Cress Welsing, they got to atone for that because we gon' ride. When they harmed our brother Emmett Till, they got to atone for that because we gon' ride. When they harmed our brother Bobby Hutton, they're gonna have to atone for that because we gon' ride. When they harmed our sister Latasha Harlins, they gonna have to atone for that shit because we gon' ride. So don't worry, this era is gonna take care of everybody that wasn't taken care of in the past. And the millions of other brothers and sisters who are gone but not forgotten. Names may not be mentioned as much, but they live with us. We're riding for all of that, and they're atoning for all of that. This is the first era that has literally went around and start G-checking the past, the present, and the future. We holding down the ancestors, we're holding down each other, and we're holding down the future. Who else has ever done that? So when I sit here on the Black Alpha Network and I tell y'all that this is a different era, when I tell y'all if there's ever been a time to be alive and be a Black person, it is right now. I ain't lying, I got receipts for that. We represent to the core, we all feel it. I don't give a damn where you are. You could be going on a run, you could be chilling with your children, you could be at work, you could be meditating, you could be doing anything that you're doing. I guarantee you that you feel the vibe. The flow has changed, y'all, and it's all being spearheaded by us. And wherever this goes, it's going to be because of us. And we got a real tight grip on the steering wheel. Real tight. But guess what? That fucking top is dropped back and we doing about $1.50 in that motherfucker. Our way. And that's what it's all about. It's about doing everything our way, not their way. We went too long doing everything their way. See, when they were calling us African Americans, let me tell you why they love that term. African Americans mean we came here from Africa and we're just their guest. We're just guests in their house. You gotta understand, there's power in words. Power in words. And African American is the most weakest motherfucking term you could ever use to somebody who's not from Africa, but from foundational Black America. And we're not just from foundational Black America. We are the foundation of America because we built America. So there's a whole different thing at play here. We ain't some fellow immigrants that these motherfuckers can talk to recklessly. We not the janitors, we the architect. Know that. Boy, I gotta say that shit twice. Hold up, freeze. Let me run that back. Rewind. Damn, I'll be spitting some shit sometimes. I impress myself. We are not the janitors, we are the architects. When you come up in here and you start talking to us, you're not talking to the person who's sweeping the floors. You're talking to the person who laid the whole goddamn foundation down. And you will show respect to that, or your ass is gonna be out the building. This is what we doing, we evicting people, and we got the right to evict people. All that shit where, you guys don't like it, y'all go to Africa. You don't like a motherfucker, go to Europe. Because we was here first, and when we got here, we built this motherfucker. You ain't put a brick in this house. We put every goddamn brick in here. We hammered in every goddamn nail. We put down the goddamn tiles, and we put the fucking name tag on the door. And now we're here to claim that shit. Back for everything they owe and everything they stole. So when I say there's power in words, foundational Black American is the definition of that. That term has so much power because one, it cannot be remixed, recrafted, and remolded. They can't spin that around on us. We've already addressed that. But two, it encompasses every single thing that we talk about. You want to talk about power, you want to talk about original, you want to talk about lineage, you want to talk about heritage and culture. That is all encapsulated in those three letters, FBA. And we represent it to the fullest. And as I always say, we don't only just represent it to the fullest, we make that shit look good too. And the whole goddamn world know we make it look good because they out here trying to look like us. Often imitated, never duplicated though. You keep trying to be like us, you're gonna fall flat. Heavy is the head that wear the crown. And trying to put this crown on, you gonna pass out. This crown was only crafted for us. Your hands don't reach that high, Tether man. All these carbon copies. We the only group on the earth that got just copies. You got so many goddamn duplicates and copies. You know when you go get some shit printed out, you might print up 50 flyers or 100 different papers. We are the original. All these other motherfuckers is like when you get something with an autograph and you can tell the motherfucker autographed the first one and they put it in a printer or a fucking Xerox machine and just duplicated it. Foundational Black Americans, we are being duplicated in places we ain't never even been to. That motherfucker I was just talking about, that motherfucker I was just talking about in the village on the rock, leaning on one foot trying to get some fucking reception so he control our Twitter spaces. Man, he over there in the fucking village we'll never be to with his hat cocked to the side and shit. Trying to blow his goddamn hair out. Trying to walk like FBA walk, cause y'all know we got that strut. They women over there trying to look like our women, they men trying to look like our men. They over there having FBA conversations, but they ain't in FBA territory. What the fuck is that? I seen them. I'm telling you, anybody who's ever left this country, the first thing that pops out to you is that foundational Black American culture is everywhere. When I say it's everywhere, I'm not meaning it's just there some guest or it's over here and skip a place. Fuck no. Foundational Black American culture is everywhere you go and it is obvious. You see motherfuckers rapping. They got fucking Indian trap music. They got European trap music. I ain't lying. They got South American, African trap music. All they charts is motherfuckers over there rapping. Yes, indeed. That shit is crazy. I heard that shit. That motherfucker was, I'm sitting there like, what the fuck? And it all looks like FBA. All looks like FBA. They may not have Timbs on. They may have Slims on. They may not have Nikes. They may have Jikes. The motherfuckers ain't wearing Reeboks. They may be wearing She-Box. But I guarantee you, all that shit comes straight from foundational Black American culture appropriation. It's appropriation without appreciation. But guess what? These motherfuckers gonna appreciate it. And I have no problem every morning waking motherfuckers up and letting them know they gonna treat us with respect. Bottom line, I'll be right here when you get out of bed just to let your ass know. No fucks given. So what's all this slander about? As I get back to it, y'all, you know how we rock. What's all this slander about? They want us to go back by the name they gave us. You feel me? They want us to go back to the name that we could be like their little pet, like they adopted us or some type of shit. I'm talking about the whole fucking world. The whole world. You got people right here in America that want us to go by African Americans so they can con us, and then you got everybody across the planet that wants us to go by African Americans or whatever fucking name they can use to get power over us. See, FBA gives us power. When you identify yourself, you have power. Identifying yourself is the first and easiest thing that you can do. Living in a system of supremacy and a bunch of coons running around here, they always try to prevent us from doing that. That is the number one accomplishment of this era, is that we identified. Truly identified. This is the first time ever where we're going by what we choose to go by. There's no tag name, there's no nickname, there's no phony ass name. A lot of motherfuckers didn't even know we done been named 5-6 different times in this country. And not one of them has been a name that we gave ourselves until now, until today. And that's the beauty of it, and that's powerful. And it's not just that, it's the fact that we represent it. And it is a reflection of our lineage and our culture and our heritage. It's like when Muhammad Ali changed his name. When he changed his name from Cassius Clay to Muhammad Ali, they didn't want to acknowledge him. They would just sit there and say, "What's up, Cassius?" He said, "Call me by Muhammad Ali." They said, "Nope, Cassius." And then one of them guys that he fought, I don't even remember who it was. It was Terrell something. When he had that speech, he said Terrell will catch hell at the sound of the bell. That guy, he would not acknowledge him as Muhammad Ali, and Ali whooped his ass. And Ali, straight out of Kentucky, Louisville, shout out to all my Kentucky folk, family, is FBA territory. And that's the most important thing about FBA territory. FBA territory is wherever the fuck we go. FBA territory is every building we step in, every block we walk down, and anywhere our feet are. That is foundational Black American territory, and you bring it with you everywhere you go. That is what you call lineage strong. And right now, we're as strong as ever. Foundational Black Americans, and you will address us as such. You see, them old folks back in the day, they used to go by different terms and they would get called whatever the dominant society called them. They say, oh, the dominant society called me that. I'm gonna go by that today. Oh, no, they got a new word for me. All right, boss, I'll go by that word. We don't do that shit. Fuck no. You will address us on how we address ourselves and nothing in between. No debates, no exceptions. If we say foundational Black Americans, you better say foundational Black Americans. If we say FBA, you better say FBA. Don't come at us talking that barcode talk. See, all that shit in the past, that was barcode talk. That was like having a barcode on your back. That's something that someone else created. That's why we always say there are certifieds and then there's counterfeit Negroes. The counterfeits, they're the ones who walk around with a name tag that Zadie put on their shirt. That's the colored folk, the people of color, the Negro, the African Americans. That's all fake terms. That's counterfeit. Foundational Black Americans, we are authentic. This is organic. This is our culture and our lineage. It starts with us, it ends with us. We are the beginning, the middle, and there ain't no end. And that's the difference between a certified and a counterfeit. You see, when you allow somebody to name you, now you've given them power to control you. That's why so many of these counterfeits have been getting controlled for so long. They've never been able to control us because we always march to the beat of our own drum. They've never been able to control us because we know who we are. The folks you see out here begging, pleading, asking, the reason they're doing that because they're speaking to the person who named them. They talking to Zadie. The same way that somebody goes around and names their children, that's the same way the dominant society been naming all these coons. You're gonna be color folk this week. You're gonna be people of color that week. You're gonna be minority when I want. We're gonna say y'all African Americans when we please. And these motherfuckers answer to the shit. Dominant society step in here and says African American, they say, huh? Dominant society walk in here and say, where all the Negroes at? They say, over here's boss. Over here, waving their fucking hand. You sees me? I'm right here. The fuck out of here. That's weak, that's frail, and that will never go on in our circle, the winner circle. At the boss's table, we make motherfucking boss moves. And the first thing you can do when you make boss moves is represent what you've created, represent what you started. Foundational Black American culture and lineage has existed for hundreds of years. It's just now we done put the tag on it. And not only did we put the tag on it, we represent it to the fullest. We always say where I'm from, we give it the full 100. Not 5, not 10, not 22 and a half, not 33 and a third. No, the full 100. And we represent that every day. And it's only getting stronger and you can feel it growing. That's why it's trending everywhere. It wasn't trending 2 years ago, it wasn't trending 5 years ago, but it's been here. It wasn't trending 10 years ago, it wasn't trending 20 years ago, but it's been here. So the very fact that it's trending right now, that is you seeing with your own 2 eyes in real time. This Black Grassroots takeover. This foundational Black American takeover, this B.A.N certified Black society takeover. And the part they hate the most is that they gotta sit back and watch that shit happen right in front of them and they can't do a damn thing about it. We represent authentic and they represent artificial. And artificial can never step in the same room as authentic. That's why all these coons, these shields, these sellouts, these tethers never come into our space because they know shit gets real over here. And every single thing that we've said has came to fruition. We sat back and watched it. We said that the Democratic Party was gonna go down. Democratic Party was gonna go down. We said that the tethers were gonna get their wake-up calls. They get a wake-up call every day. We said that tangibles, resources, reparations was going to occur, and ladies and gentlemen, we're watching it all unfold. That's why you see them writing lineage based on everything. They tried to slide in flat blackness and that got rejected. We wasn't going for that. We put an end to that shit in about 2 days. They was like, well, everybody should get it. We said, no, FBA lineage based. And they said, oh, okay, we will. You goddamn right you will. Boss moves. It's like Kobe. Step back, nothing but net. Because that's what the Black Grassroots does. We call shots. We determine our own destiny. We make our own moves, and we make everybody around us, all the haters, everybody who's got a problem with us, we make them all sit the fuck down and watch it because they can't stop it. And this is what it's all about. This is why they so mad. They got to get the tethers involved. Like I said, everybody's teaming up. You starting to see groups that don't even like each other coming together just so they can team up on foundational black Americans, and that shit ain't working. The Tethers got with the Boule, the Democratic Shields got with the goddamn Republicans, the overt got with the covert, the buffer class, the North, South, East, West, they all shaking hands trying to come in FBA because it takes all of them just to step to us, but they all end up going down. I told you step to FBA, man, that shit ain't gonna work for you. It ain't gonna turn out good, and it's not turning out good because all the momentum's on our side, and I don't mean some, I mean all, because we're the only ones who are going to take to the streets. We're the only ones who got a real warrior class. They don't have that shit. These motherfuckers is snitching, getting their feelings hurt, whining, crying. They ain't got no damn warrior in them. Fuck no. The only people with a warrior class and revolutionary spirit and revolutionary soul are foundational black Americans because we get it out the mud. Everything that we do and everything that we come up with is through resistance. It's through all the blockades and the hurdles, and we jump over every one of them motherfuckers. You know what we gonna do when they tell us not to shine? We gonna shine anyway. You know what we gonna do when they tell us not to grind? We gonna grind anyway. You know what we gonna do when they tell us not to get money? We gonna get that money anyway. Reparations, cash that. And this is what it's all about, family. They don't want us saying foundational black Americans anymore. That's what it's all about. Everything else is water under the bridge. They understand that they cannot control FBA. When it was African American, they told motherfuckers to jump, they said how high. They told motherfuckers to bark like a dog, they bark like a dog. Stand on one foot, they stood on one foot. Yes, Jesse Jackson, Al Sharpton, all the motherfucking coons from yesteryear, yesterday, the day before last, all those coons did whatever the fuck they told them to, because them were the African Americans. These are the foundational black Americans. This is a whole different time. This is a whole different wave, and a wave that none of these motherfuckers can get with. And they understand that. So what they're doing, they're coming up with every trick, tactic, trying to pull motherfuckers off the street just so they can stop us from saying foundational. They at this point are begging and pleading. I said it, the desperation is thick. They out here saying, can y'all just please stop saying foundational black American? Go back to African American. That was better. Nah, FBA is here to stay. This is the new normal. You better check that. You better check it. When we come up and we come out, everybody knows what it is. Everyone sees it. Everyone can hear it. We can all feel it. This wave is going around, and we are the ones in the center of that. And in the core of this whole situation is that they want us to go back to the name they gave us. They want to go back to colored folk, and they want to go back to the Negroes and all that shit. They don't understand that we done got to the point where we saying, shit, this is our land. This is what we created. This is what we built. This is what we do. We are the soul of this country. We're the backbone. Everything great about this country is us. Everything great about this world is us. We are in the middle of it. If somebody doesn't believe me, then look all around the world and they're acting like us. So don't tell me our presence isn't felt all across this goddamn planet, over every goddamn ocean. Yes, it is. In every village with them tether phones, they acting like us. They thinking about us. You know damn well we on their mind rent free. There's places that foundational black Americans have touched without even stepping foot in. Don't tell me we ain't exceptional. Yes, indeed. Family, I'm gonna put it all on the line and we're gonna make this crystal clear how desperate the dominant society and every other motherfucker is to try to get us to stop saying FBA. That's what it's all about, y'all. Y'all know that shit. They want us to stop saying FBA at all costs. They're like, please, just quit saying FBA. Quit saying foundational black Americans. We don't want y'all to claim that no more. They're trying to get us off of our lineage. They're trying to get us off of our name. And it ain't gonna work. It ain't gonna work. It's to the point that the dominant society is picking up the damn RBG flag. Yes, yes they are. Y'all remember on Juneteenth when they kept trying to pump out the RBG flag? They were taking our Juneteenth flag and turning it RBG colors. You were getting on Google and Google was like, happy Juneteenth everybody, RBG colors. The dominant society is talking about Pan-Africanism and they're telling us, why don't you guys just, go back to Africa? Pan-Africanism is good. It works. I literally just seen some folks from the dominant society, some liberals, and they were talking about how Africa is reconnecting with black Americans. Now, y'all know they never said no shit like that. They never acknowledged the RBG flag, and they damn sure never acknowledged Pan-Africanism. But now, all of a sudden, the dominant society is picking up the RBG flag. They speaking about Pan-Africanism. They're doing all these things in an attempt to get foundational black Americans to say, okay, we'll stop saying FBA. We'll be African Americans again. Shit. Bout the fuck ain't. Not happening at all. And that's why the desperation is in full throttle. I mean, they're out here literally waving RBG flags and shit. Did you ever think you see the RBG flag on Google? I mean, openly, not no shit like RBG is bad and these are these evil black folks. No, they weren't saying that shit. They were celebrating it. I seen the damn RBG flag with balloons and shit go up in the sky. This is where they're at. Pure 100% desperation. When the dominant society starts acting like they cool with Africa or they start acting like they cool with the diaspora and shit, you know we done got them to the point of full anxiety. They having anxiety breakdowns in public right now, doing everything to stop us from representing our heritage and our lineage. They're doing every goddamn thing. They're to the point now where they damn near begging. Can y'all please be African Americans again? This foundational black American movement got them scared. This foundational black American movement got them shook. They go home slapping Karen around. They having all types of problems. Because you see, they look at it like this. They're basically saying, African Americans, oh, they were nice, submissive, and they forgave. Foundational black Americans, oh, they independent, strong, we can't stop them. African Americans, oh, they were easy, they were controllable, and they were docile, and they forgave. Foundational black Americans, oh, they're independent, strong, and they set some shit off. They can't stop the foundational black American, but they had the African American right where the fuck they wanted to. Y'all already know. Y'all look at motherfuckers right now who still use the term African American. Look how lost they are. Look how blind they are. Look how head in the fucking clouds they are. And then when you look at a foundational black American, you see somebody who's strong, independent, getting theirs, making moves, making it happen, taking over. Reparations over everything. They know when it come to us, they're gonna have to cut that check. They know when it come to us, they're gonna have to run them tangibles. They know when it come to us, it's gonna be pull-up season. That's a whole world of difference. So we done got them to the fucking point where they damn near dressing up like fucking Dikembe Mutombo so they can try to get us to quit saying FBA. Matter of fact, they did. Matter of fact, look, when they took the goddamn kneel and they was wearing all that African garb, that was basically saying, hey, y'all stop that FBA stuff now. Please don't do that no more. Be like Africans. You always see all these Democrats, they're always talking that African shit. They're trying to Africanize our culture. They try to Africanize Juneteenth. They would have never gave a fuck about that. Now all of a sudden, they want to Africanize everything because they want us to disassociate ourselves with our lineage. Let me tell you something. We ain't disassociating with what we created, because what we created, you gonna respect it because we know you can't check it. Facts. And speaking of facts, I got a B.A.N. Black Alpha Network exclusive. I'm gonna give it to y'all right now. Look at my screen right now. Check this out. You see how we just sat here and said that the Democrats are sending out all their shills and all their minions and they're trying to stop this FBA movement and they want to disattach us from our lineage. They want to Africanize everything and they're starting to say things that they would have never said before. Pan-Africanism. They're starting to do things they would have never done before. RBG flag. And we got these motherfuckers literally acting like Africans. Well, all right, check this out. Y'all know I got receipts right here. We putting them all on the table. Receipt after receipt right now. Check me out. I put out a tweet the other day. You probably seen it. And it had a big ass globe with just America in it. And it said FBA in between. And I said, the only lineage that never ran, the only lineage that never fled, and the only lineage that stayed and built, the only lineage that matters to us. True, true, true. And man, was they pissed off. I seen every goddamn tether, every buffer class, every crowbar. They came out in droves. They was all in my goddamn comment section. They was yelling at FBA in 100 different fucking languages. I seen this flag, that flag, all different flags. That shit looked like the United Nations. They was pissed. Because, you know, when we represent our lineage and our culture, everyone gets mad. When we represent what we created, everyone gets mad. When we're loyal to our own, everyone gets upset. It's such a bad thing when we do it. But yet every other group can come here, wave their flags, speak their own languages, make us learn their languages, have little town here, little town there, build in our communities, and that's fine. But soon as we say FB to the A, motherfuckers throw hissy fits. And that's exactly what they did. Every goddamn flag, every tether, every buffer, they were throwing a hissy fit right there in my comment section. Now, you know, I don't give a fuck. And I'm gonna represent FBA all day. As a matter of fact, the more they get mad, the more I'm gonna get louder with my FBA. But somebody in my comment section, don't know who, they had some flag from some fucking where. They were non-FBA. They put up a clip of Dr. Umar Johnson. Dr. Umar was in there talking, taking shots at foundational black Americans, saying foundational black Americans were tribal. It was some American tribal stuff or whatever the fuck he said. Now, I met Dr. Umar Johnson before, and it was cool. But to be honest, every passing day, the movement is passing his ass by. Dr. Umar Johnson, let's not get it twisted. Dr. Umar is against reparations for foundational black Americans. Somewhere in his Pan-African Disneyland ass head, he believes that foundational black Americans should not get reparations. Reparations should be for all black people on the planet. So they're gonna cut a check for every last black person. And if every last black person in every village and tribe in Africa can't get it, we can't get it. So he's anti-reparations for foundational black Americans. Bullshit. And Dr. Umar's that guy where about 40 years from now, he's gonna have a gray beard, gray hair, and he's still gonna be teaching some shit that never came true. He's gonna be that guy that you're gonna see grow old, and he's still gonna be talking about some black unity on earth that never happened. He's gonna finally find out one day what we've already found out, and that is Pan-Africanism is a pipe dream, a daydream, and it's in dreamland.
We are one family. Don't let nobody come to you with no fake movement talking about we are one family. We are one family. We are one family. Don't let nobody come to you with no fake movement talking about they only for black folks and we was already here. Nigga, you was here, but you came from Africa. You was already here, but you came from Africa. Stop lying about the origin of our people. We not for no division. We not for no division. We one family. You understand? We rise together. We go down together. Africans for everybody. It's one race, one family, one people. It's no other way we gonna push this. We are a global family, brothers and sisters, period. And anybody come with any African-American tribalism, you got these fake-ass scholars who ain't done nothing but stole all my information, creating these fraudulent movements to separate black people. Leave that nonsense alone.
Shit, at least Martin Luther King said his dream became a nightmare. At least he acknowledged that his dream was wrong. Dr. Umar still just dreaming of goddamn Wakanda happening tomorrow at 9 o'clock. And that's why the movement is passing him by. And it goes to show you, no matter how intelligent you are, no matter how smart you are, no matter where your mind is at, if you are outdated, your ass is gonna get passed up. If you fall, slip, and hit the ground, people gonna walk right over you. And if you don't make it to the airport on time, the plane gonna leave without your ass. That's exactly what's happened to Dr. Umar Johnson. So somebody, mad that I'm repping FBA, some tether out there, they put up a clip of Dr. Umar taking all types of little backdoor shots at FBA. Didn't say our name, but he's saying all types of funny style shit. But that ain't the point. Check this shit out. When I look into my comment section to see who put this up and who's liking the comments, because that's what you do. See where the motherfuckers clicking that little heart on and what they co-signing, then you gonna see who bought that bullshit. Now, didn't I just say that the Democrats are trying to co-sign African things that they would have never co-signed before? The Democrats are trying to co-sign the RBG flag that they would have never co-signed before, just so they can undermine foundational black American lineage. Well, when I look into my comment section and I see who liked that Dr. Umar comment, bigging up Africa and hating on FBAs, one of the first people I seen that liked it was Democratic shield Talcum X. Yes, Sean Queen. He was in the comment section liking statements made by Dr. Umar Johnson. Get the fuck out of here. Get the fuck out of here. Hey, and he slid in there too, real covert and shit. Then came into the comment section and liked that shit and then dipped the fuck out. Didn't leave no comments or nothing. Look at the screen right now. That's it. I'm posting it so you can see it. Talcum X in the flesh. Yes, Sean Queen came all the way onto the Black Alpha Network Twitter page, went into the comment section, found the first thing that was anti-FBA and liked it. Now y'all know damn well they would have never agreed with anything Dr. Umar has ever said. Please, the Democratic shields would never represent Dr. Umar, they would never represent Pan-Africanism, and they would never represent the RBG flag. Only time they ever will is when they're trying to undermine FBA. You see what I'm saying? Shields, buffer class, minions, tethers, boule, they will all get along is when they trying to hate on us because it's all eyes on us. FBA runs the yard. Fucking Talcum X. Man, if Sean Queen don't get the fuck out my comment section, this is certified space over here. This only for certifieds and B1s, man. We don't do none of that. You better take your I wanna be Black Lives Matter ass out of here. We already exposed him. Check out my video, Black Activist. You'll see it. We done ran the whole script on dude. Like, get out of here, homie. This is real certified space. And you see how these shields is trying to ride up. Let me tell you something. They think they can still get away. They think they can still be sneaky and slide up in our space. You can't do that. This the FBA B.A.N era. We gonna check you at the door. Somebody gonna spot you, identify you, run your ass off the block, out the paint, out the yard, out the county, out of town, out of state. That's the new wave, and they better get used to it all the way around. So family, our FBA lineage will be shown respect. It will be talked about with respect. It will be given respect, and it will be treated with respect. And that goes for our FBA heritage from yesterday. That goes for our FBA heritage today. And that goes for our FBA heritage tomorrow. All across the board. We ain't leaving no stones unturned. Everybody will know and everybody will show foundational Black Americans what we deserve, because we are the ones who built this country. That's a fact. We are the ones who continue to carry this country. That is a fact. And quite frankly, we just the realest, most thorough people in the motherfucking world. And with all that said, you better show up. You better give it up. Facts on top of facts. But I give everybody love. I give everybody respect, man. Foundational Black Americans, certified Black Society B1s. I appreciate the pull up. See, the reason why I go so hard representing our lineage and our culture the same way you guys do, because this is our family tree. It belongs to us. We are in these family meetings. We are in these spaces. We are in these environments with each other. We know how strong we are. We know how intelligent and how talented we are. And we be damned if anybody comes at us sideways. That's just how it go. That shit don't work for us. That may work for the Tethers. That may work for the Buffers or the Shields. We see all of them coming. We understand they getting paid pennies on the dollar to try to disrupt foundational Black Americans. We understand they getting paid butter biscuits with some sprinkles on them if they a good little boy. We understand that. But it does not matter what is put in front of us, because we're going to do what we've always done to things put in front of us. We're going to knock that shit down and step right over it. They out their goddamn mind that they think at this point anything is going to derail foundational Black Americans. You want to know why I always say that we're at the boss's table and we're in the winner's circle and we making winner moves? It's because we're still here. Trust and believe. If you ever want to know how thorough foundational Black Americans are today, think about what foundational Black Americans went through yesterday. And that'll give you every answer that you need. If anybody out there in the world wants to come at us sideways or come at us in any type of disrespectful manner, they will be seeing the motherfucking door. No exceptions. No debate. No excuses. Look at your watch, look at your clock on your phone, look at any goddamn time you see, and know that this is FBA time and everybody's on notice. Oh, and it's here to stay. It's here to stay. It ain't going nowhere 24/7, 365. This is the new normal. The whole damn world is just going to have to get used to our new wave. The whole world is going to have to get used to our new vibe, because we are flowing, cash flow. So as we sit here and everybody's trying to get adjusted to foundational Black Americans, everybody's trying to get adjusted to B1s, certified Black Society. The real thing is that they don't have a choice. Either you gonna get with it or you gonna get left. You're gonna either stand up or you gonna stand down. But either way, this is happening in real time and we're all watching it. Reality has struck those who do not want to understand, but all of us who already knew what was inside of us are sitting back and watching what was on the inside take over everything. And that's why we are trending everywhere you go. So I want everybody to continue to do it, continue to stay laser focused, and let's permeate and translate this real foundational Black American energy. Because when we put our hands on something, we see the results. If somebody wants to see the results of what foundational Black Americans can create, I suggest you open your door, step outside and look around. It's called the whole goddamn country. You can never say that America is the best country in the world. You can never say that America is the greatest thing ever without acknowledging the people who created it, foundational Black Americans. So if America is so great, and America is so wonderful, and America is the most amazing country of all time, that means the people who created it are even more amazing, because we did it all through oppression. We did it all through hatred and spite, and we did it against all odds. So right now, I'm gonna say, fuck all the haters, middle fingers. I'm pushing them all to the side on the corner. They can sit their ass down and have some butter biscuits. I'm talking to the FBAs. I'm talking to the B1s and all my certifieds right now. Remember this one thing. When you got here on this planet, you were already a winner because you came from this heritage. When you got here on this planet, you were already a winner because you come from this lineage. When you got here on this planet, the day you were born, you were already exceptional because you come from exceptional people, and those are our people. Not the haters, not the fakers, not the snakes, not the phonies, not the frauds, the real ones. FBA, and like always, it's all eyes on us. Tell the motherfuckers to enjoy the show. Real life. All right, everybody, I appreciate the love. Make sure you leave a like before you ride out. Put your notifications on and subscribe to the Black Alpha Network. We are building and we is coming, family, but we gonna do it as a family, all of us combined. I love y'all very, very much. Stay real, stay safe, stay vigilant, and always remember, black is beautiful and beautiful is black.